The mountain bike trails at Carver Lake Park are a super fun mix of easy and intermediate, flowy single track with many engaging features and zippy downhill rips thrown in for good variety. You can find the mountain bike trails at Carver Lake Park at 3175 Century Avenue in Woodbury, Minnesota, not too far from our Woodbury ERIK'S location. The trailhead shares a parking lot with a playground and a beach, so you'll find indoor restrooms and a water fountain in the picnic shelter at the far end of the parking lot, and even more facilities down the hill at the beach. Near the entry to the trail, you'll find a port-a-potty with a sweet bike repair station with a pump and some basic tools. Managed by the City of Woodbury and maintained by the volunteer group MORC, which stands for Minnesota Off-Road Cyclists, Carver Lake Park is reflective of the great partnership that many Twin Cities trails share between public and volunteer groups, with MORC leading the charge to get more folks on bikes and into the woods. If you ride all of the stacked loops of Singletrack, you'll ride just under 5 miles. This makes Carver Lake perfect for one or multiple laps, or for re-riding your favorite sections, all depending on how much or how little you want to ride. There's a ton of super fun trail features thrown in throughout the trail system, all of which have ride-around options that don't take you out of your flow if you aren't quite ready to get rad. Once you get into the woods, you'll find that the single track is twisty and turny with short, punchy climbs and flowy downhill sections to make those climbs totally worth it. I met up with my friends Abby, Joe, and Hillary recently, and we went for a ride.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
Right from the get-go, you're treated to a super fun, sweeping and rolling entry with tons of turns, rocks, drops, and log rides. Again, all of these little features have ride-arounds, so you don't have to hit them if you aren't quite there with your riding. Don't let my heavy breathing and the fact that Joe keeps getting farther and farther away throw you off. Yes, there are some hills, but that's more about me being out of shape than the actual difficulty of the climbs. They're certainly there, I just make them look harder than they are. Eventually, you're gonna make your way to a super fun little skills section with some skinnies and rocks that you can play on, if you feel like it. I like to hit this elevated log ride and move on, but don't forget to hit the rocks on your way out. Now you're back in the woods, winding around, up and down, hooting and hollering through the trees, and a couple of good berms thrown in for good measure. One of the coolest features at Carver Lake is the bike playground. This area is a great place for riders of all ages to start to hone their skills before tackling the same types of features inside the woods. There's a wooden pump track, dirt pump humps, and plenty of race features and bridges that will help you gain experience and confidence. There's even a drop of a couple feet, but never fear, there's a roll off as well. We messed around in the playground for a little bit, but the sun was dipping down, so we had to get back on the trail. A fun little camelback feature pops up in the middle of a fun little swoopy sandy section right in that tree line before we dip back into the shade of the forest. Back and forth through more berms, and again, Joe pulls ahead. Eventually we came up upon one of the kids who was playing around in the playground earlier, so we gave them a little space to ride and have their own fun. I really love to see kids out on these trails, and Carver Lake is no exception. Kids of all ages love this trail. Enjoy these twists and turns for a bit until you come to a neat little spot that features a log ride in one direction and a small log pile if you stay right. Then there's a cool little elevated skinny with some more rocks to play on. Head through some pines and past another neat little rock section and you come to your first paved trail crossing. It's pretty easy to navigate through this whole trail system. All of the trails are one way and they're clearly marked. When you get to the paved crossings, just look straight across and you'll see where to go. This next short section is the same twists and turns with a super fun sweeping run down to the crossroad. At the split, stay right to keep going, or you can go left if you want to ride that section again, or you could even head back to the car. That's the joy of stack loop trails like Carver. Ride as much or as little as you want. Again, be sure the paved trail is clear and head straight across for more dirty freshness. Some tight turns and a sweet rock garden await for some chunky goodness. Carefully cross another section of paved trail and zip down for a fun rip into some berms. But don't muff them like I did. Around the turn are a couple of fun features, one rolly rocky section, and a wood skinny. Honestly, as I was riding through here, I totally forgot that the rocks were there until it was way too late. After more fun sweeping turns, you come across a really cool wooden berm. Climb back up, blast down again, climb out again, and you're back at that trail crossing. From here, we made our way back across the paved trails and climbed back out. When you get to this spot, you can go forward to ride that section again, or bear right to cross the paved trail again and go back to the parking lot. There's a couple really fun sections in the Pines that make you feel like you're in the Northwoods, not out in the suburbs. There's one final super fun sweeping rolling section before you pop back out of the cars. For some reason, it always feels like the return back to the car goes way too fast. More motivation to just head back in for another lap. All in all, Carver is a great trail for all types of mountain bikers. There's speed for you cross-country racers, there's features for you riders who like to stop and play around, and there's enough flow to keep you trail riders hooting and hollering. Beginner riders will find that the trail is challenging enough that you want to ride it more, but not so challenging that it isn't approachable. And when you're done, head on down the hill for a dip in the lake at the beach. This trail truly is for everyone.